Alright, good afternoon and welcome back. I had a sky scale land on me. That's awesome. We are ready to continue our Guild Wars 2 personal story playthrough. We are on season 3 and we are currently in the middle of chapter 3, so we're going to try and finish that up today. Um, we're still running errands for Timey, right? Which is basically what chapter 2 was, right? Get samples from these like corrupted destroyers. Now we're trying to get samples of corrupted Icebird. And of course, with each of those two chapters, there also came like some additional things, right? So with the last chapter, it was, hey, keep the islands from exploding. Now it's, by the way, we're also, while we're here, looking for Braham because we want to bring him into the fold on our new guild. We'll get to that towards the end of the instance, but first we're gonna finish running errands for Timey. What does that look like? Well, we want to gain access to, let's see, it's this region right here, which is way too cold for us to gain access to. So by disguising ourselves as Icebrood, we gained information on how to create an elixir that is going to allow us to enter that. It's called the thaw elixir, so it will prevent us from getting frozen when we go into this incredibly cold area. So we need a firestone, we need a source for cold resistant eggshells, and we need some frostbitten suet. And the suet is simply obtained from killing creatures on the map. Now, these creatures that I'm attacking right now aren't going to work because they don't drop anything. That was a change that was made as a result of folks AFK farming near these nodes, because the drops near, or the foes near these nodes respawn extremely fast. So with certain, like karma buffs and stuff, it was beneficial to AFK near these. So ArenaNet changed that. This was all a long time ago, relatively speaking. So why am I hitting these nodes right now? Because one of the ingredients that we're ultimately going to need are these winter berries. So I just want to make sure that we have enough in our inventory. And since there's several nodes right here, we're going to hit them. Along the way, we're going to be grabbing shiny ice and sticks. We see those on the map, like right here, shiny ice and flexible sticks. But of course, I need a pickaxe to do that. And we're going to see why we need those things here in a few minutes, too. That's all about the Firestone, but that's its own thing. So we'll get to that here in a minute. So like VIP areas are really cool. The VIP passes. And I certainly don't have like any issue with the idea of someone getting them if that's something they want to get. But little reminder, like there's never a reason to get one when Obsidian Sanctum is always accessible. Like I don't. If you said to yourself, I don't want to spend real money on something like that, I would say, do not spend real money on something like that, because there's just no actual need to. All right, so we got a few sticks. I think we only need like 3 sticks and 3 ice. We should have like 2 of each right now. 2. 30 should be more than enough of the berries. And I'm not going to accidentally deposit those berries just because my storage is already full from when I was doing the 0 to 0. These wolves should potentially give us some of the suet. The suet will not deposit into your bank, so you don't need to worry about accidentally depositing that. We may also get suet. Why don't we go work on the eggshells? Because we may get suet from that as well. Let's come up this way, though. There's some sticks and ice up here. And like I said, I think 3 is what we need. So there, that's stick number 3. And there's ice is right behind us. We'll get the berries while we're here. The other reason to always grab these berries is This is a super easy map for getting Ascended stuff. I've talked quite a bit about that. How Season 3 makes the acquisition of Ascended trinkets like extremely easy. So there's really no reason to neglect that. And in fact, it wouldn't hurt once we have enough Unbound Magic built up. It wouldn't hurt for me to add a couple more to this character, because while my 0-0 character is good on that, my story playthrough character here is short some Ascended stuff. And that tiny little stat boost that we would get from that is... Oh, well, we got our suet now, but we still need the eggshell, so we're headed up there either way. But yeah, that tiny little stat boost from the Ascended does matter. Especially like on a boosted character like this, where the current exotic trinkets that we have are Celestial. Now, Celestial is really great for a lot of things. So, like, what I would recommend doing...
There will be no more eggs.
Yeah, that's...
Not the sharpest icicles on the roof, are they?
No, they are not. And yet, they are a formidable foe. We've been forming alliances against them.
Even Grawl are smarter than the Svanir.
Yes, but they are fierce. It is for this reason that we Coden are pursuing an alliance with them. We're working together to keep this region safe from Jormag, to preserve its natural and uncorrupted state.
I wish you the best of luck, and thanks. The Svanir will not overcome us.
Alright, I didn't want to miss that dialogue. So what I would recommend doing, if you boost character, is keep all that Celestial gear, because it's a pain to craft or acquire by some other mechanism. And any character is going to come default with at least 2 templates. So just whatever you want to do that you're going to do with that character, like do it on one template and keep that Selly gear on another template. And that's what we'll do with these trinkets. But on my normal loadout for this character, then I would love to replace. I threw this on here because we got it at the end of Season 2, but ideally that would be Berserker. Replace that with Berserker. That's already Berserker. I'm not going to worry about bumping that up to Ascended, but we got 3 more spots here where some Berserker gear would be a significant damage increase over that exotic Celestial. Alright, so egg shells, right? We still need to talk to Wamula here to get eggshells.
The griffins in this copse are protected. What is your business here?
Hello. I'm looking for ingredients for an elixir I need. Would you help me determine where I might find them?
What ingredients, may I ask?
Yes. Winter berries, cold-resistant eggshells, frostbitten suet, a firestone, and a hot spring. Have you seen these?
You could help find abandoned griffin eggs. They're under piles of snow. Quaggan would love you forever. The griffin mothers are being killed by the Svanir before they can sit upon the eggs and warm them.
We are warming them ourselves.
You sit on them?
Great glaciers, no. We put them in the incubator.
It incubates the eggs so it can hatch. Snow griffin eggs can survive in the cold for months, just waiting to be warmed up.
I'll see if I can find any unhatched eggs for you.
Stupid commander. You thought they set on the eggs. What an idiot. Okay. So it doesn't take a lot. And in fact, honestly, if clearing the map matters to you, by the time you get a handful of eggs, you're going to be like halfway to completing the heart. So you might as well go ahead and finish the heart. If you don't care, then you don't care. So I don't know that we're in a position where we need to care right now about completing the heart. We did accidentally complete the other, the one over here a few minutes ago, which is good. All right. So you throw an egg in there, and then you wait a second, and then you collect the eggshells, and you're going to get cold-resistant eggshells. All right. So we've done that twice. We should have at least 3 sticks, at least 3 shiny bits of iron. Hopefully 3 is what we need. I believe it is, if we remember right. We got quite a bit more suet over here. You know, I wonder if we should bump it up to 5, just in case, because I don't... Like, I feel like it was 3, but what if it's not? Then we're going to end up having to double back. So maybe we'll do 5 of all these things. Just to be on the safe side. Won't hurt anything.
I could outrun a centaur.
This one is so sweet.
This one is so sweet. What a sweet little baby griffin. So they are. They're cute. Oh, it looks like... So when we got 3, it gave me the thumbs up there. So I guess it is 3. I guess my question has been answered by my own actions. Maybe I should pay more attention. Imagine that, huh? Alright, so we have almost everything we need. What we don't have is the Firestone. And fortunately, the map is going to give us like our little green thing, in case we weren't paying attention to the fact that it's... Oh, I don't want to mess with that guy. Let's get out of here. You know, if I wasn't paying attention to the fact that the Grawl can help us out there, then, you know, the map gives me my little green story step here symbol. Anyway. So we have everything we need but the Firestone, and then, of course, we'll have to find the... We'll have to find the hot spring after that. But one thing at a time. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Hello, Hooga Diz Diz.
You. Who you? What you want?
Hello.
Man, Grawl
I
are
don't
annoying.
mean to trespass. I seek allies against the Svanir.
Any enemy of the Svanir is a friend of ours. It's okay, Huda. We can talk.
Talking, always talking.
Those who aren't already corrupted by Jormag must work together if any of us are to survive.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm looking for ingredients that will help in a fight against an ice brood.
What do you seek?
A firestone and the whereabouts of hot springs.
A firestone. The Grawl here have them, but you'll have to earn their respect or they'll never give you one.
Can you advise me? How should I go about it?
They love their goddess. If you construct a shrine to honor her, I am confident they would reward you. And please be as respectful as possible with them. We need this alliance to last.
Alright, so we're going to kind of kid... Oh, you know what? It's 4. Okay, let's go get one more stick. And there's a stick right there. So we're just going to need 1 ice. Boo. Boo. I should have gone ahead and done the 5 I was talking about. When I saw 3 shells was enough, I made a bad assumption. So then we'll go back because we're going to need 4 chicken feathers. And there's actually something kind of fun that goes along with the whole chicken feather process. It's kind of a ridiculous little thing, but it's I kind of get a kick out of it too. And it's actually a throwback to
Time to do some real damage.
something that's in the core Guild Wars 2 game. As far as you know, it's a duplication of something that you can do in oh, what is the name of that map? I don't even think this character's been in the Fields of Ruin. And so they added it here as well, and there's actually an achievement for it. It's worth almost nothing. I think it's 1 achievement point if I remember right, and no other reward if I remember correctly. But it is kind of a goofy little thing. So we'll do that here at the end. So we're gonna kick these chickens. Kick. And get a chicken feather. Sorry, chicken. Kick. Alright. We need 2 more. 2 more chickens to kick. Look at these crazy Grawl just bouncing around all over the place. Kind of like alarming, honestly. It's weird. It's weird and I don't like it. Alright, here we go. Last chicken. Kick. 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 And we're just going to keep kicking him. And the chicken's going to freak out on us. It takes a few kicks. Come on, chicken. Really? Oh, you know what? I must have done this on 0 to 0 too, because we didn't get the achievement. We must have already got it before. Oh, look at that guard. Nice enough to help us out after we kicked his chicken. Yeah, ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, in Fields of Ruin, it doesn't explode like that and instantly down you. It just, the chicken starts to fight you, and it's just... But same general principle. Okay, so we got the feathers. We got the shiny ice, we got the sticks, we got everything we need. We'll build our little shrine here. I guess that's a shrine. That does look. In fact, it might even be the same model. I'm not sure. The same asset as the ones that like adversarial. What are these guys called again? Grawl. Adversarial Grawl throw down. Some of them, like the shamans or whatever, will throw those things down, and it like buffs them.
Oot, oot. Chokokuka happy. Shrine good.
I'm glad Choco Kuka likes it.
Ook is good. Ha! Stone for you.
Just what I needed. I don't suppose you know where I could find fresh, hot, very hot water, do you?
Yes, indeed. There are springs not far from here. You will find very hot water there.
Thank you, and good luck. Long live Choco Kuka.
Oot oot.
Long live Chokokuka. Okay, so we got the stuffs that we need to make the elixir now. Let's go make the elixir. What's happening right now, by the way, is kind of the meta event sort of for this map. I don't know that I'd go as far as call it meta event, but I mean, I guess it is. It's the map-wide event that takes place. So like all these shrines or these braziers come under attack by Ice Brood, and one at a time, or well, not necessarily one at a time, but gradually these various champions will spawn as well, and you got to kill the champions and protect the shrines and so forth. Actually, let's go this way. And I suppose, relatively speaking, like it's not completely worthless because you can get those 9 champ kills pretty quick. An organized map will have a tag that moves from champ to champ, in theory, so that people can get all 9. Although, I think realistically, that's probably pretty rare because you're always going to have the random ones that are killed by just people wandering around and stuff. All right. No, not place herbs. There we go.
Are you friend or foe?
Friend, most assuredly.
Quaggan is very glad. Quaggan doubts Quaggan could outrun you. Though Quaggan would try.
You don't have to. I'm here for the hot springs. I heard they were the hottest in Tyria.
One of them is hottest. Not for bathing or swimming like the others. Only for cooking. Why do you need water so hot?
I have to make an elixir that will let me enter the bitter cold. I have to kill one of Jormag's minions.
Oh, boo! Quaggan fears for you. You must not do something so foolish.
Don't worry. I'm quite resourceful when I need to be. Now, where's that hot spring?
What you seek is not far, but Quaggan will not show you where. You run toward your death.
I'll do my best not to die.
That would be well advised. Goodbye. Probably forever. So sad.
I actually kind of like it. I like the Quaggan would still try. I do get a kick out of it. All right, so the spring's actually right back here. In fact, does it show on the map, or is it just... All right, it doesn't. But it's back here. Stupid mushrooms.
Feel the fury.
Did we aggro that one? Yes. Ah, it got me. Oh, did we get credit for that? We didn't do anything. That was the meta event completed. Oh, you know, I did stop and kill like 2 of those. I killed like 2 ice breed. Okay. Test the temperature. Small pool of extremely hot water will work nicely for preparing an elixir. Ah, cool. Well, let's do it then. All right.
Oh, I wish this stuff smelled better.
Commander, you busy?
Only if you count fighting Spawnier and Ice Brood.
Oh, just another day on the job, huh? Well, I wanted to know whether you'd had any luck finding an altered minion.
All the ones I'm seeing are normal, but I have a lead on something. I'm working on getting to where it is.
If I were a supposing kind of genius, which I am, I'd suppose that Primordus must have soaked up more Mordremoth energy. Maybe proximity matters, and since Jormag's so far away, it didn't receive as much Morty juice.
Makes sense. That would explain why I'm not seeing any altered ones yet. I'll keep looking, though.
Try not to get killed in the process, okay? I'd miss our little talks. Bye-bye. Over and awesome.
Bye-bye. Alright. So now we are protected for, I think it's 24 hours. No. 5 hours, 39 minutes? That's it? What? I thought it was 24 hours. I thought it was one full day. Anyway, we're protected for a period of time from the cold. Doesn't last forever. Now, I think I made reference to this in the previous video that I don't like the way it works. I don't like the way it works. I don't like that's for a limited period of time. That we are only protected... Oh, you know what it is? That's how long it is till reset. That's why it's that amount of time. Reset is 5 hours, 39 minutes. Well, yeah, exactly. Okay. And so, yeah, but, you know, God forbid you accidentally do that story step, you know, like 20 minutes before reset. You know what I mean? Don't like it at all. I don't think that feels good. I think it's unnecessary. I don't think the story benefits. It was simply to create, like, additional busy work. I really genuinely believe that. Force players who want to, you know, pursue achievements back here or something like that, force them to repeatedly go through the steps of getting the elixir. I don't like it one bit. Oh man, I'm gonna die being too close to that thing. I don't see any reason that they could have just made the elixir a permanent thing. What's the worst that happens if they do that? That the second or third time I do the story on the same account, I can skip that story step? Really? I mean, is that like really what we're worried about? Because I don't think it should be. But instead, we got this thing that they do occasionally. Every now and then, ArenaNet does this, where essentially we get like we're punished if we don't do a thing. Like, hey, do this thing that we have built in, or get punished, you know? And like Guyala Delves is a more recent example of that. Buy this completely unnecessary air filtration mask, or suffer this debilitating debuff that slowly saps your health. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't, like, I don't like that. Okay, there is a path originally that you would take to get like up here. You go like over here and around, I think, if I remember right. We're not going to do that because that's a pain in the ass. We're just going to use our sky scale to cheat. And there are several paths around here. Like there's one over here too. You can see there's someone over there. I think there's a way of getting up there if I remember right. Yeah, you go around from this side. Doesn't matter. So we use this little reflector thing to melt through the ice down here and go through the ice. There's also like these chests. There's some achievements associated with these chests. There's a diving goggles somewhere over here. You got to pick the right one. There's like 3 different diving goggles at different heights, and you got to like skip the first 2 and go to the highest one, and then you break through the ice when you do the dive to get the diving achievement for that one, which I think I actually did on the 0 to 0. So I think doing it again would be like unnecessary in terms of, you know, achievement points, whatever. All right, so these worms right here, which are kind of in our way, I think are here just to show us that explosion, because that is the mechanic that we're going to use here in a second. There's what we've been looking for. An ice brood that has like Mordrum influence. Hey, buddy. Now we can't damage him right now. See that? So we're going to come over here. We need him to come to us. So you got to be careful about pets, flesh golem, minion-y type things. I don't know about. I've never done this with a mechanist. I haven't. It just hasn't worked out that way. I've only done it a couple times since End of Dragons launched, and just so happens that I didn't do it with a mechanist. Not sure if they cause a problem with it or not. Oh man, I'm making things harder for myself than I need to. But I can definitely tell you, ooh buddy, that pets and golems will both create a problem where if they draw his aggro, then he won't come to where he needs to be for you to inflict the damage that you need to inflict by killing the little wormy guys, right? So then you kind of have a problem because you're trying to pull him over here and he's not doing it, and then you get frustrated. So definitely with the flesh golem more than anyone else, get your flesh golem away. Oh, all right. I botched that up, and I'm probably gonna die. Actually, it's kind of embarrassing. Hey, you gonna do your job, man? Ooh, it didn't reach that one that I was trying to hit earlier. Pet might get me up. We'll see.
Time to do some real damage.
I don't think that reached him. Yeah, it didn't. There is also an achievement for doing killing the least number of larvae possible. I think we got that on the 0-0 playthrough as well, so not a big deal. Alright, that should just about get it. Man, not a good showing. Okay, got our sample.
Timmy will be pleased.
Timey will be pleased. Is that all we have to say about that, really?
Sweet, sweet.
Alright. Speak with Deepwater. Let's do it. We got our sample. We got our sample for Timey. We got bad news, right? Which is that some ice brute have in fact been affected by, the release of Mortar Mouse magic. Hey, buddy.
Dragon Slayer, I am delighted to see that you have survived your foray into our beautiful countryside.
It was touch and go there for a while. But
It was, actually.
I'm afraid I come bearing bad news, though.
Oh, food. Quaggan knew it. You found the missing herdmates, didn't you? Oh,
I'm afraid so. There were no survivors.
That is quite distressing. Thank you for returning to let us know. We have news on your lost friend as well. It's bad news, too. The Svanir are looking for him. They tortured this farmer to find out where he went.
The Svanir who hurt you, what did they say?
Oh, the sorcerer was mean. He wanted to know if Quaggan had seen a tall Norn, bald like Quaggan. He made Quaggan tell him where the Norn went. Quaggan didn't want to, but even more, Quaggan didn't want to die.
It's okay. Did he say why he was looking for Braham?
Yes, many times. He was angry because he thinks the Norn wore a disguise and tricked the Svanir out of an elixir recipe.
A disguise? And trick them? Oh no. I'll have to send Timey's sample by courier. I need to find Braham.
He was headed to a cave in the southwest. You might be able to follow the Svanir tracks.
Alright. Let's go find Braham. So, what we did to advance here actually had a negative impact on that poor Quaggan and potentially on Braham as well. That makes sense. Makes sense. Checks out. As much as I dislike the commander in terms of like how the commander's written, I think the commander's written like a real douchebag. Can't blame the commander on this one. I mean, the commander was doing commandery things, and that's fine. And then someone else pays the price, and I actually kind of like. I'm kind of just missed that one. And I'm good with that. Like, not that, of all the things going on here, they're kind of stupid. That's like not the most egregious. Do we want stealth detection? Yeah. What should we work on now? Let's work on more Itzel stuff. Let's work our way up to like the poison and the mushrooms and stuff. All right. Braham. What is going on with Braham?
Footprints. The Sons of Svanir must not be interested in covering their tracks.
Oh, apparently not. There they are.
I feel good.
Commander, take your pick. There's plenty to go around.
So this instance is, in my opinion at least, a little bit tough. You get a pretty strong showing out of multiple Ice Brood here. And then we got some more things yet to come that present a challenge as well. This is not an instance that I'm like particularly good at. No. And there it is.
Feel the fury.
So those attacks are that kind of V-shaped ice attack is pretty devastating. Which is why I generally try to like stay on the move during this portion. Unfortunately, in that case, I didn't. Being on the move wasn't. I wasn't on the move purposefully, and thus I kind of ran right into it. But
This isn't over yet.
what? It's not. It's not. There's a whole nother wave, including an elite. But I'm actually like way less concerned about the elite right now versus kind of like the rest. Because if you focus on the elite first, then you're leaving all these other dudes to hang out and kind of make your life more difficult. And that's not really what I want.
Feel the fury. Feel the fury.
We're doing a little bit better this time now that we're actually paying attention to what we're doing.
Are you two okay?
Fine. Wonder what that was all about.
Did you steal something from them? They kept calling you a thief.
I'm afraid this is my fault. I had to pose as a Svanir to get their thaw elixir recipe. They must have thought it was you for some reason.
You had to what? Well, it's over now. Rox and I need to keep moving.
Okay, let's go.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I actually, again, like Braham gets a bad rap, and sometimes it's well deserved. But like that's another great example.
It's good to see you. How's the hunt for the scroll going?
Almost at its end. Or maybe a frustrating beginning. If it's not in this cave system, all my info was wrong, and I'm back at square one.
Great example of how like Braham's
Time to
pretty
get my
pretty
letter?
justified.
I assume that's why you're here.
She did. It was quite a surprise after she learned that... How much do you know about what's happening?
With Jormag? Plenty.
No, that's not the... Primordus is active too.
I heard. These dragons won't rest until we're dust.
Well, Timey has a plan.
I do too. I find a way to kill all the dragons, or die trying.
That's a little extreme.
Talk to me after they've taken your mother.
All right, so his like
Bad boy.
Sounds like other wolves.
his deal with his mom is kind of silly. Remember, she wasn't even around. Like he barely knew her prior to season 2. So his whole like complex is kind of a bit much. But to come back to what I was talking about, like it is easy to see why he like gets frustrated with the commander. He's like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing." He's doing it all by himself. Right now he has rocks with him, but in general, he's been doing this by himself. And this is a theme that will continue actually for a while. And then the commander like comes in and basically like co-ops it, and is like, "Yeah, let's do this thing that we're doing." And yeah, I mean, Braham is completely justified to tell the commander to go pound sand, and should. I wish that they had actually, if that was the line they wanted to take in the story, I wish they had been a lot more assertive about it. And I'm still waiting for that. That is not something that they've really done much with. The idea that that the commander like alienates people. We have adversaries who will mock us for it later, but one thing that the studio hasn't really done in the story writing is actually show us, like, people kind of get frustrated with the commander's crap. Like, I would love to see, especially if it's someone who is kind of part of our, like, guild, Marjorie or Casimir or Rox, because Braham doesn't do it Braham doesn't do it nearly forcefully enough, right? He's not actually telling the commander to pound sand right now. He's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I guess you can come along, commander."
That was a pretty unfriendly welcome for a fellow wolf, huh, Garm?
Yeah, poor guy. I would actually love for someone. Let's just use Rox as an example, or if it's Braham later. But we're at the point now in the story where that would feel like old
the
hat.
dragons aren't the only threats. A Mersat, Lazarus, is back and seems to have changed, but
Yeah, why should Braham care about that? Like, why are you talking,
and
commander?
Minister Caudicus escaped from custody and came out as the leader of the White Mantle. He's currently MIA.
Canuck says it looks like he's making his way up to the Isles of Janthir.
Sounds like a bunch of trivial human matters I don't care about.
Yeah, appropriate response. So, like I was saying,
It's getting pretty dark.
shut up,
Time for
Rox.
some torches and a way out of this cavern.
So, what I'd really love to see is a character actually like tell the commander, "You have messed up my life. Leave me alone. I don't want to see you again. You're a horrible person,"
Still here.
etc.
They
Right?
must be the first people to pass through in a generation.
Little eggs everywhere.
You'll have to forgive him, Commander. We've had a pretty tough... Hold up. These eggs. Everywhere.
How did you get this far and just notice that, Rox?
Frostbite is already covered in spider webs. We tripped their alarm.
Oh, frostbite.
Time to do some real damage.
These spiders are weird because they're elite spider, and they don't like their health pools and like the damage they deal and everything is more like veterans. I don't know why they did that. It's kind of weird, but I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Certainly easier than spawning earlier. Now that I've said that, I'm going to get downed again, but.
Feel the fury. Time to do some real
Oh, that was the wrong spot.
Feel the fury.
Bad ranger, man. Bad ranger. Oh, is there a fourth wave? I'd forgotten there was a fourth wave. Well, then let's try again. Only marginally better. Oh, there's way more of these than I remember. Now these ones are genuinely more like elites. I don't know why it's the same name when they're obviously like very different. We're gonna end up taking that poison right to the face. Alright, bad time.
That's the last of them. Looks like we might be able to get through there if we can clear that web.
Maybe I'll use my foot key. Should I use my foot key? We're not going to use the foot key.
That did it. Let's pick up the pace before more spiders show up.
I approve.
The reason I found you, I don't know if you heard, but we started a new guild. It'd be great to have you.
Didn't feel like joining Destiny's Edge and continuing their legacy, huh?
Ritlock said. I felt like that might come across as disrespectful.
Disrespectful? To keep the memory of my mother and Snaff going? You and I must have different notions of respect.
Braham, I'm sorry. This isn't the reaction I expected.
It's okay, Commander. Maybe it's for me to keep alive. Another thing thrown on my pile of obligations now that I'm back home.
Braham?
This scroll isn't going to find itself. Let's go. Watch it! Ambush!
Oh no, ambush!
Time to do some real damage.
Oh. Stuck in ice. So in fairness to whoever like wrote the dialogue here, they do a pretty good job of communicating that the commander is like trying to make nice and be diplomatic and like maintain the relationship or whatever, and it's just like super awkward. So I genuinely think they were trying to communicate awkwardness, and I think they do a good job of that. It's just that in the process of doing so, they continue to make the commander an increasingly out of touch and dislikable character. Which is not like unique to season 3. It's kind of an ongoing issue throughout a majority of the Guild Wars 2 story.
First line of defense.
And that's the player character, so that kind of sucks.
I knew this was right.
Might be in the next chamber then. If we could get through the ice wall, maybe Frostbite can fit through the crevice. Or there's the Braham way.
Let's go.
Everyone always says that, like, Braham's gonna smash something with his mace. Well, he did just smash through this giant, like, ice wall. I mean, that is something, right? Alright, so something is happening here, right? We got, like, these, icy things, and, I don't know, like they're channeling magic or something.
It's here!
Braham, you can't... Let's hold up a second here.
I'll take that, thanks!
Braham, move!
Braham, she's frozen solid. Stay out of that thing's way.
I really hate this encounter. I am more than happy to admit that part of the reason I really hate this encounter is because I'm very bad at it. So the goal here is to pull this dude to you in a fashion that will cause him to run over these veteran rhyme-bound servants. because you need them to be eliminated to like unleash the magic associated with associated with these like pedestal things or these rune stones or whatever it is that these things are, whatever we're gonna call these things. For crying out loud, man. Now I will say one of the things I don't like, about this instance, besides the fact that I'm bad at it, which I am, is that it really puts on display like something that ArenaNet is really like something that I find really frustrating with, like how ArenaNet likes doing encounters. Oh, come on, man. And that is that. There is just an unbelievable amount. I'm straight up gonna die. I usually do die once or twice in this encounter. There's an unbelievable amount of AoE spam in this encounter. And if you've, if you've done like Twilight Oasis, or, any number of, there's the last chapter of Season 3 has like a final encounter that's going to be real similar. ArenaNet really loves just like catastrophic amounts of AoE spam and stuff that in general contributes to like cognitive overload. Man, why did those guys go all the way over there? Oh, it's because of my pet.
They'll have to hit much harder.
Ow, pulled too early. Only took out one of them. Now another problem that we're going to run into here that's going to cause me a bit of frustration is these stone. Oh my gosh, these stones are going to cause him not to charge in the first place. So
I don't have enough energy.
or they stop his forward movement. Oh man, ooh, if I could have just got over here before going down yet again. Oh look, he missed them all too. Yeah, so this is a frustrating encounter for me, straight up. Oh, is someone getting me back up? Well, that was nice of you, Braham. I don't know how much it's going to help. I'll go down again. Alright, can we hang out? Oh, come on.
I must be able to break the freeze because of the elixir. But rocks.
No, now they're back over there. That's not going to get it. I might get one of them. Nope. None of them again. Yeah. So I don't think it's, I'll be honest, I don't think it's well designed. Because I think it derives its difficulty from too much of that and not enough of other things. However, having said that, I will be the first to admit that I'm really bad at this one. This is, like, not an instance that I'm good at. And there's like very like normal reasons for that, and so sometimes there's reasons to be frustrated about certain things, and sometimes it's oh my gosh, and sometimes it's okay to just admit that you suck at something.
Back on my feet.
Alright, is that all of them? It is. Alright. Finally, I'm done embarrassing myself.
It was true. Thank Wolf, it was true.
Come here.
Alright, so now we have the ability to damage him because we got the scroll.
The might of the fire lives in my heart and in his bone. No chill,
Alright, so now Braham's gonna hit it with the arrow from the scroll and miss.
Feel the fury.
What? Alright. Nice shot, Braham. You wanna try again, buddy? Out of range. You suck, Braham. There we go. So now it'll take considerable damage. It only took Braham a few tries.
Turret's really low.
Really bad showing. I almost wish, yeah, like I wish I could just go back to when I did this on the 0-0. And I did a much better job of it that time around. Oh well.
You'll be feeling that one for days.
What you gonna do, man?
Rejoining the fight.
Alright, is Rox okay? Rox, you were frozen.
What happened?
You were frozen.
I was frozen? So weird. It was like a dream, and I was on a beach. You'd think it'd be the opposite.
Well, we're glad you're back.
Did we get the scroll?
Sure did, Rox. Thanks.
And now?
This is similar to the scroll Aesgeir used in his great victory. So now I test the bow on the tooth in the Great Hall. If I damage it, it's time to rally the Norn and lay Jormag to rest.
Braham, you can't... Let's hold up a second here. A direct assault on Jormag puts a lot of lives on the line. I think the Pact can tell you that may not be the best idea.
The pact you commanded. Look, Jormag is my problem, and I'll deal with it my way, with or without you.
Jormag isn't just your... Look what happened to Rox when you rushed in and bashed something.
Oh, I forgot. Your calculated plans always work out perfectly. Like when you posed as a Svanir to get some potion.
Okay. Can we back up? Timey thinks there may be a way to pit Primordus and Jormag against each other without raising a single sword.
Timey thinks, huh? If the tooth chips, we have hard proof.
Hard proof of what? That you can battle a tooth?
So only you get to decide when we take down a dragon? Only you are allowed to kill them?
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, figure out what you're saying, because that's what it sounds like.
I'm only asking you to wait, maybe just a few days. See if Timey can do this. There could be no need to put lives at risk.
With every moment we wait, someone else's mother dies. I won't give Jormag a few days. I won't give Jormag a few minutes.
The Norn elders told me the legend of the tooth, but I've also been out in the world and faced two of these things, one with you. They're not to be taken lightly.
You think I take it? You know what, Commander? I'm glad you didn't join Destiny's Edge. My mother wouldn't want you in there. I'm headed back to Holbreck. Garm, to me.
So...
Go ahead. He certainly doesn't want to be around me right now.
do you think he'll do it?
I hope cooler heads prevail. He has to see this isn't the way to go.
All right.
What to do now?
So that is the conclusion of chapter 3. So a few thoughts. I'm with Braham on this. I'm 100% with Braham on this. Now, is he being like kind of pouty about it and like, you know, is he being dramatic? Yes. Braham is being dramatic. But most of his observations are on point. And him calling the commander out on some of this stuff, like how hypocritical what the commander is saying here, it really is. Like that is on point too. Like it's ridiculous for the commander to be like, oh, you know, we need to be more careful, and You can't just go charging after dragons. That is literally what Guild Wars 2 for the first 10 years is the commander charging after dragons. So it's kind of a silly line for the commander to take there. And so the idea that we would encounter a point in the story where someone would literally tell the commander, "Hey man, like, you're trash. I don't want to be around you. You need to leave me alone. You make people's lives worse." That would have been a great time for it. Like, I would have more appreciation for the Guild Wars 2 story, without a doubt, if that was the last time that we see Braham, or at least last time we see Braham as an ally. Maybe we encounter him in some other capacity. I'm not saying adversarial, but like, if you really want him in the story that bad, you can incorporate him in the story in another way, without him being like one of our cronies. Unfortunately, that just, ArenaNet is very much like of the, they take the tack of the world resolves around the player character, and I think the story is worse for it. And that would have been a good, something like that would be a great opportunity to kind of shake that up. If right at that point in time, someone pushed back on the commander, I guess, and the world didn't revolve around the commander. I would love that, but that's not what happens there. So the tooth, right? Before we wrap it up today, I don't remember if it shows in like the normal instance of the map. Let's go take a look. I think it does. But, yep, there it is. So this is added, right? Like client side, specifically because of where we're at in the story or whatever. Like, now we get that. The arrow embedded in the Fang the Serpent. Fang the Serpent here, still 100%, apparently. We still can't damage it. But now it has this arrow embedded in it with these cracks, demonstrating that Braham was in fact able to chip the tooth or crack the tooth or whatever it is that you do to the tooth. And as a result, he's like fulfilled this prophecy to some degree that, because they're waiting for someone to be able to do that to demonstrate that they're ready to take the fight to Primordius. So if you are Norn, this then is the time to take the fight to Primordius, because someone has demonstrated that it is in fact the time. All right. So we are wrapped up with Chapter 3 of Season 3. Let's see, which one's next? Chapter 4 is... Yeah, that should be Head of the Snake. Is that right? It is right. Alright. So that's going to give us some interesting stuff. I don't think that Head of the Snake is like the worst chapter in Season 3 by any stretch of imagination. It does have another encounter similar to the one we just went through, where I'm going to perform exceptionally badly. But that's okay. Like, that's how it goes. It is going to give us some pretty interesting things. And a lot to talk about, because I occasionally dabble in like the geopolitics of Tyria and Guild Wars 2. It's going to give us a lot for that. So I am actually kind of looking forward to that. So when we pick it up, maybe tomorrow, maybe not actually. When we pick it up here in a couple days, we will begin. What was it called? Head of the Snake, right? No, I've already forgotten. Yeah, the Head of the Snake. We will pick it up there in a couple days. Thank you for joining me, and have a good one.